Okay, so if you think I look tired, you are correct. It's like 2 in the morning again. I don't know what the hell when you just wake up and you're just laying there, and it's not like my mind is racing and I'm stressing out or something. It's nothing like that. It is way more like maybe it's just the veil that's so thin and it's just so much intense energy or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's like a party started. Come on. So anyways, I've been up for a while. And I wrote down, I had so many little things that I wanted to share. So I wrote them down. One thing is, this is insane. So yesterday I saw this TikTok and somebody shared, it was a woman who was sharing a movie clip. And everyone in the movie was black. So, and it was an older movie, but since it was only a clip, I don't know. But it was a movie that a lot of people apparently haven't seen, is all I can say. But it is the slap. It is the scene. I am not kidding you. It looks like the movie was probably made in like the 50s or 60s or something. And it's a comedian on a stage. It's not the Academy Awards. It's a comedian on the stage who starts harassing the guy and his wife, who he obviously knew personal stuff about him. And so the guy gets up, the same dialogue. Like they had to get a script to practice the lines. Oh, okay, say this, then I walk up, I do this, and then I say this. I am not shitting you. That is how fake this world is. And also, I saw the Russian guy, again, another one of his videos, and he seems like super smart. I mean, he's really explaining historical things and stuff. And, you know, he was showing the Swazi flags that they march into Russia waving, because it's the Swazi sticks during the crane of you that is really the instigator, that is the murderers. And so he ends his thing asking, why are we Americans funding the crane of you to come in and murder these people? And he goes through he was explaining stuff and going back in history and stuff. But that's the third person now I've seen from Russia saying that. And don't forget about the letter, the letter that woman received from her Russian friend. Remember when I said I went into the wrong room on TikTok? But so she had gotten this letter and read it, you know, and I was all in. And then when she wrote her friend back and the response, but the comments, it was just so over the top. Oh, these poor Russians. They can't even trust their news media. Oh my God, they don't even know who they're fighting over there. It's like, I don't know if their media is the problem. I don't know. So anyways, you know, and it's just like what I was saying. I keep seeing these different people in different countries saying, you know, Americans are over here killing us. Americans keep funding people killing us. I saw another thing with India. I can't remember. There's so many. I mean, to me, it's just becoming so flooded with people trying to share information. There seems to be, I mean, I see people getting taken down all the time, and they're probably, you know, some of us know you got to talk in code. You know, they developed code for a reason. So, and this is a time of war. So, you know, and it could be partly that some people just haven't understood because they haven't dealt with it. Like I started dealing with censorship in 2020 immediately, soon as I started speaking out. And the first thing was just my apology to Trump, because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I was a part of the bullies. Ugh. You know, and apologize. And, you know, that was my first strike. Like, oh, he is the enemy of the people. So anyways, those things. Okay, so I wrote a bunch of them down because I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to be able to remember all these? So, and I get myself panicked. I mean, they will tell me what they want me to say. You know, another thing too, and I was looking, you know, because there's a lot of different people who go out there and they speak spiritual talk. And I don't know, it kind of, it's like a lot of people just jump on the bandwagon or something, and it's not coming from their heart or something. I don't know. It's weird. But there's some people saying stuff that say the right words, but it's like it's not coming from inside. You know what I mean? It's like when you have a teacher who's up there reading a textbook, or when you have somebody who's telling something from personal, like, hey, I get this. I know this. This is what's going down. You know, I've experienced this, and you can benefit from doing this or whatever, you know? And so it is weird because on TikTok, you see so many of these people, you know, and all saying things and patting themselves on the back and stuff. And I've just noticed the people who I get the most moved by, and they aren't even talking about certain things. They're talking more about just perspective or something. Those ones seem to me to be the wanderers. And they're all in. Even today I was taking pictures, and I was like, you know, if you took us all and you put us all up there together, we're kind of like you know, like a very defined, but kind of like a motley crew, because we're all so like, I feel like everybody who is at that point in their awakening to, you know, be leading or whatever, that they are kind of like, you develop yourself as yourself and you become defined as yourself. So everybody's kind of distinct. Everybody's kind of their own little character. You know, it's splitting away from the herd and becoming, you know, like the unicorn and the, you know, but everybody just develops themselves into this character. It's so funny because like I'll go through and I'll see them, and there's certain people that are just like, they're so defined as a character. Like they could be in a movie, but actually they are in a movie because they are defining themselves as their own character. But it is, it's just funny because that's how we relate to things as characters in movies. But I've had so many different things being shown to me about the characters in movies, and how, you know, how it messes with our head and stuff like that. And how it is kind of like I get this image in my head, like these young people who are like, yeah, I'm going to be a biker, you know, and then they see what a biker is on TV or in the movies or whatever, and it's a very one-dimensional perspective. And if you meet a real person, like, you know, like they just, nobody is very complex in the movies, you know, they're just very surface, one-dimensional kind of perspective of this person. They're not very in depth. But like if you went and you met like, you know, some real biker, you know, this person you're aspiring to be or whatever, I mean, they're all going to be different. You're going to find some bookworms. You're going to find some, you know, some real oddballs mixed in the crowd. Everybody is their own person. But see, that's what they don't show in movies, how really complex. It's just so stereotyped. So then people automatically, like you see a certain person, well, you have the description already in mind. And that is part of the problem in our programming. It's just part of the thing to start realizing and noticing and breaking free from. Because there's so many people who just, like yesterday, I did that TikTok and I said, let's see if I can say it just right. So I said, you know, why is it that if the group of women or whatever gather around and call themselves Christians and lay hands and, you know, chant and pray and meditate or whatever, you know, they all have these descriptive words, but you see what I mean is the words mean different things to different people, because meditation and prayer is the same damn thing. So same with ceremony. It's all the same thing. It's all in union. It's all giving gratitude. It's all in communion, in communication with something bigger than you. So anyways, but so if it's Christians, it's called God's will. But if the people label themselves as witches, all of a sudden it's the same thing, you know, they're chanting, you know, using herbs and doing their ceremonies and whatever. But when they heal somebody, then it's called the devil's work. You see what I mean? It's all in words. It's all in language. And it's us that comes up with the defining parameters that we see. And then we bring an emotional response that goes with it. You know what I mean? So, you know, you can hear of some, and this keeps happening to me. This is why, because, you know, being a new age, like, and you start talking about God, then you pull in the Christians, but then you say something off script, you get attacked. Like, you're damned. You will be going to hell. And it's like, you just don't see. You're captured. You're captured in this dialogue. You're not thinking for yourself. You're not looking at the truth. You're not opening your mind. You're basing everything on hypocrisy. You're not even noticing what's going on. You know what I mean? There's so much to the awakening, and so much about ego and, I know I'm right. But anyways, so I get a lot of this, you know, these attacks or something, because, you know, I don't fit the parameters of what's expected. And, you know, I'm not a witch. I would say, you know, when I first started waking up, I said, you know, I'm a witch. You know, I'm a witch. I know I'm a witch. And it was kind of like you start going into union with nature and the elements and energy, and you start understanding that you have energy, that you have, what is that called? You can transmute energy, that you have, you know, some kind of alchemy, like you have a skill of it, like it's part of the awakening to understand that. And that part of it, you know, I was like, oh, I'm a witch. But then when I started, you know, watching what those people were talking about and stuff, I was like, no, I'm not into ceremony and stuff. I've done some ceremonies, but I know you don't have to burn a candle, or you don't have to say something 3 times, burn it, pour salt, you know, you don't have to do all that. I'm not into the ceremony part of it, but you know, that is important and meaningful to some people. They have to go through all of that stuff. You know, it's part of the process for them. So, you know, there's no shame. I'm not saying they're lower than me or something. I was just not in alignment. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not, you know, really into that group or whatever. The spiritual group really, you know, kind of rubbed me the wrong way, just because there was so many people. It's just kind of like a, you know, oh, look, I've got a prayer bracelet and I wear this crystal and I'm just, you know, I meditate for 45 minutes a day and I'm vegan. And it's just like, it's more of just the nonsense. It's like, that's not what it's about. Like, you know, Jesus was walking in with the lepers and the homeless and the prostitutes. Like, it isn't about being perfect. It's about wanting to learn and how to become more and how to overcome the obstacles, how to champion self, you know? And it is so much about, I saw somebody explain something today. He was explaining about the Kundalini and stuff, and I was watching the diagrams and everything. And I was like, you know, the whole thing is, see, I do it every time. Because I can see it so clearly. So the whole thing is the enlightenment. It is the door to enlightenment. Is you have to go through you. You are the key. Everything is inside of you, and it's going through you to get to what's out there. It's weird and it's hard to explain, but when you understand the concept of what I'm talking about, see, it makes sense. Because I just know there's certain things I say, and some of you guys, it just like, it glides in like butter. And then other people, you know, they try and translate it the way that makes sense to them. And then other people are just like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. So, because we all have a different understanding, we're all speaking different languages, and we have to quit being bothered because, you know, I mean, literally, if you really get into this concept of, oh, and this was another thing too that I saw this morning. This guy talking about, he had watched something about these people from Mars, and they came and they were the Lemurians, and going through this whole documentary that he watched. And again, to me, all I could hear was every single, and this, I've seen so many videos, and every time it just confirms to me what I keep seeing, what I keep showing, how I'm translating this, that everything is just a giant ass honeycomb, just huge honeycomb. If you took the honeycomb and you think of the honeycomb being up like this, but if you laid it like this, just realities stacked upon realities. So everything is pocket of realities. Like if you think of a sinkhole, opening up that whole reality, it didn't know anything about our existence. There's life forms down there. No telling what's down there. Seriously. Because down underneath us, there's all sorts of stuff, because there's a honeycomb of realities. And so if you think of the earth plane, so if you think of us being in a reality plane, like a plane of existence, a space in time, and we are in that space along with all of these other beings and places that reside in the same vibration or resonance for the same, because in certain vibrations you can have certain experiences. You can't have, in higher vibration, you can't have low vibration experiences. You have to go into low vibration experiences to have low vibration experiences, and you learn from low vibration experiences. And when you come in, you don't think you're going to be as affected as you are because the avatar has emotions, and there's a lot of things trying to distract you to keep you separate from yourself. So, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the mission. So, can I remember who I am? Can I do the right thing if I'm put in this place? Who and what am I? And so, anyways, when you come into this earth plane, this reality space, there is all of these different planetary systems divided by water at whatever consistency goes for this resonance, this vibration. So the water that separates us is all, and you know how much they've talked about the whole world that lives in the sea that's undiscovered. There's so much going on just around us, and we think, oh, we need to go out to outer space. We are in outer space. We are around everything already. So if you think about the earth plane, and being all of these different islands of realities, it is already going on. We are already dealing with aliens and stuff. We are already, when we can, forgive, but when we can accept everyone on the planet around us, then we are moving towards opening ourselves up more, because it's just more of the same. It's no different. And there can be some, aliens or whatever, different beings that manifest into different, like there's, if you go into, alien world or whatever, they all look like different things. I mean, some look like humanoids, some look like insects, some look like birds. Like, they're all sorts of things. It depends on their environment. And we think of that as being like, oh, crazy, creepy, supernatural, weird. No, it's just part of what's real in real existence that we've been cut off from. It's been held back from us. And we're just, but it's not anything weird or crazy. It's just part of what's real. The supernatural is what's real. It's what's real in the natural world. So all of this stuff that, has always been to keep us from understanding that. And, yesterday even they showed me this thing, and I don't even know if I can explain it. I think I tried to explain it before. And I also saw it in that one movie, which I think I shared the link a long time ago, but that movie where I said that it was like the people's thoughts were outside of their head, and this lady from outer space or something, she came from a different reality, And she didn't carry that gift of everything about you being exposed. You couldn't have a thought that wasn't being heard by everybody. But they, in the visual, they had like this colored smoky stuff around people, but all their ancestors and everything were talking. And I said, this is what it's really like. This is what is really going on in the world. And then when the guy would walk, there was this coolest scene one time when he was running, and it was like his ancestors were running with him. And it was like when they show that with acid trip or whatever, you know, and they do that with their hand, and there's like a million hands, but they're all like touching to the point where there's no definition between them. They just are all part of the same thing. That is what we are with our lineage, with our ancestry. We are, like if you think of micro, macro, we are the physicality manifesting itself from the lineage in this moment in time. If you can get what I'm saying, the moment that we're focused on is our manifestation of self, which we are part of all those things. We aren't just one self. We are many selves, all attached through that kind of, it's the same thing as development. It's the same thing as growth. Everything is micro, macro. Everything represents itself. Everything represents everything else. It's all part of the same thing. So if you think of it, kind of even like when they show evolution, even though that's not accurate, what they try and market, but that evolution of man, that is that evolving of a lineage, the changing, the going. Like if you took me and every grandparent and everybody, you lined us all up, like we are all connected through our actions. Like we carry their information inside of us. We are all part of the same thing. But we just get so caught up in the physical in the moment that we think this is all real. But it's all fluid. It's all movement. We just stop in this here, now moment to experience it. But everything is movement. Everything is evolution. Everything is evolving. Everything is moving. And so, it's so much easier when you can see it in your head and everything clicks in. But when you try and use words and explain something, it always just seems to be missing something. The same thing as like when I take pictures outside of nature and stuff, the colors and just certain way that things look, it is different on the camera than it is looking at it. So I don't know. There's something not translated sometimes. So let me see, because there was some more stuff. But you know what's weird too is how they are tracking us. But it's like they are tracking us, our lineage. They're tracking our whole ancestry, And it's so weird too there's a huge sell right now. People keep sharing these things because now they're seeing through, some people are seeing through the transhumanism agenda and where they're trying to head us and what's going on with the metaverse and all sorts of stuff with that. And so, people are seeing, and now I've seen commercials or ads or whatever these people have shared exactly what I was saying, that they want to get us into a synthetic. That is their goal. Any of the souls that they see as being compliant enough, strong enough, they're super soldiers. They're really into that. Oh, how many toxins can you take and you're still alive? We got a job for you. So that's their attitude, like, oh, we can poison the shit out of you and you're still alive. Well, you know, then you're the guy for us. So they will take you, you know, and convince you that you should, you know, you want to live forever, don't you? I mean, that's how you live forever. You put your consciousness into this computer system will keep you with all your memories and everything. What a creepy, creepy ass existence. Your consciousness trapped like that. Just reliving. It'd be like being in a coma or something, you know. You would be trapped. You couldn't get out. Even if you were trapped in a coma, you still would be able to get out. Like, consciousness doesn't stay in there, even though it's still bound. I feel like it's really low. Maybe I'm just sinking down. Who knows? But I don't want to. It drives me crazy when I feel like my head's way down there, because I feel like I got to keep sitting up, and obviously I'm too lazy. I'm too tired. So, anyways, if you get what I'm saying about that, I don't know. I think I finished what I was saying. Oh, and this other one too. So yesterday I saw this clip, and it was Alec Baldwin in Ireland. His daughter has now testified against him in court, and he's arrested, and he is in big trouble. Him and this plastic surgeon were daughter swapping. Like, what the fuck? These people are so sick. God, these people are weird as fuck. No morals. Seriously. Just so cut off from their soul. They're just empty. You know? They're just empty carcasses of human flesh or whatever. They have no soul. So, he was, you know, doing this little swap daughter thing here. And, the daughter, which I don't know if this is true, is that Chloe Grace. She's an actress who's in all these movies all the time. She's like a young, you know, they always got to push the people who, you know, there's an agenda. And, so I sent it to my mom, and she was, because I was thinking, okay, well, if something's going on in the news, she'll say. And she was like, oh my God, do you think that's true? And I was like, I don't know. I was hoping you knew. So I Googled it. So if you Google Alex Baldwin arrested, you get this really old kind of information about something, I don't know, 2013 or something, some other bullshit. I think him and his brothers were always getting in some sort of stuff, but you know, it's like the slap. It's all distraction. It's all bullshit. So, anyways, he was, so if you Google that, it's just old nonsense. So then if you Google Alec Baldwin, Ireland testified, I think that's what it was, the keywords I put in. And then something different pops up, I'll tell you that. So a whole bunch of articles pop up that there is a tribunal happening. It just finished up, and you know, that's it for him. He's done for. And I think they're kind of, you know, I think they're going through these. And look at how, like, you put in just certain keywords, you get a totally different story. Like, you got to put in the right keywords to get what you're looking for. And so I still didn't see all of this stuff. Like, I don't know where the person got their information from about this daughter swapping. I saw that there was some stuff in there. You can Google it, you know, and research or whatever. My whole point was, these people are going down. Like, I think that there's a lot that has been going down, but the media is just not telling us. You know, they just make a cover story. Like, we'll see, you know, what they're going to say about Alec. Where's Alec? And that, I think, is part of why Trump was always like, where's Hunter? You know, it's because these people are already arrested. You know, why is the media not talking about it? I think that's part of what's going to come out. I think that I saw a girl yesterday too, and she was saying what I've been saying for months, I think, that she was asking for some sort of a booklet, some sort of guidebook to the awakening, because she said, you know, like there's different levels of what people are awakened to. They're awakened to certain things, but not awakened to other things at all. And she wants to know, you know, like, oh, I'm awakened to 1, oh, I'm awakened to 2 and 3, and I'm awakened to 4, 5, and 6, you know. But that's what it's like. I mean, there's people who totally get some of the things, but the other things are just still like, no, I cannot process that much. But, you know, it's all part of the process. Like, it will start happening for everybody. But so, oh, another thing I saw too. So, there is this guy, you know, and I had said a while ago about the pee thing. I just all of a sudden one day I was like, you know what's weird is that they're always telling us to wash our hands. Oh, gotta wash your hands. You know, if you go to the bathroom, you better wash your hands. You're filthy. You're filthy dirty touching yourself. It's kind of weird, you know, when you think about it. And so then I was like, especially the more it comes out about the toxins and stuff, it's like, so we're supposed to use detergent on our hands as often as possible. And then I was like, it's so weird, is because you can use urine as an antiseptic. So you can use it as an antiseptic on an open wound, but if you get it on your dry hands, you know, you maybe get a drop on your hands, you better run and detergent. Like, I kept thinking, how odd is that? Well, so now there's all this stuff coming out with urine. I mean, this stuff is so crazy. Like the dandelions, like, so urine, you can, if you go someplace and you get bit by a snake, if you wait 15 to 20 seconds, you piss in a little thing, piss in your hand, and slurp it up real quick, the anti-venom is in your body, processes it, and then feeds it back to you, and it works on bees, spider bites, all sorts of stuff. There's something with our body is pretty magnificent, you know, it's crazy. And then they get you so stuck in your head, like pee is so bad, it's so toxic, like you even think about drinking it, it's like, oh God, it makes me feel sick, right? And so there's this guy, and he healed himself from sickle cell by drinking his own urine. And he goes through and talks about it, tells the whole process. And so I saw somebody talking about this guy and the urine, who was given more information on the urine. But urine drinking, I think, can clear up my eyes. I'm going to wait on the med beds a little bit more, but it's the thought. It's not something I'm ready to really put into action yet, but still, I find it quite fascinating that I could drink my own urine and it would heal my eyes. I got to get over a few little humps there. But anyways, one of the things too is, what was it? It just came to my head when I was talking. Damn it. Hopefully it'll come back to me. Okay. Another thing too, I saw, so the formula shortage, you know, people are freaking the fuck out. I mean, people are really freaking the fuck out on this one. And FEMA, Red Cross, all these emergency, you know, they're here for us in an emergency. They've got a stockpile. And they're not pulling it out for nothing. So see who's on our side. They make it clear. This whole thing is for clarity. The whole thing is so we can see. You know, we have to see what's in front of us. It's part of the evolution of change, is to, you know, see what's there. So, you know, people have to see, like, that these people who, I mean, there's people who are just now figuring out that the Republicans are just as bad as Democrats. Like, you know, it's the same beast. It's the whole political system we need to be rid of. And I went on Truth Social a couple times, and yesterday I went on it I was like, well, maybe, you know, there's something happening. Please, something. But so I went on there to kind of see, like, is anything happening? And I found it so irritating. I was like, I don't think I can do this true social bullshit. It is like a fucking political, this person, oh, they're running for office for this. Oh, they're running for office for that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Seriously. I mean, when are people going to be ready to not be governed? There's people, when I say I'm not voting anymore, like I've said it in comments and stuff, oh, you're giving up. Or you're not seeing the truth. It's like, come on, people. So I said, there's people who just want to sit there giving CPR. Come on, I'm doing chest compressions. Get in here. It's like, fuck that. They're dead, motherfucker. I'm done. You sit there, you sit there feeding off this corpse, trying to give it power, trying to give it energy. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck about this system. I am so fucking over this system. The lady who said about she was talking about, I saw this lady and she was talking like to all the wanderers and light workers and all of that stuff. And she was saying basically the same stuff as I've been saying, is like that we all have certain information and it's all of us giving this information out. But if you take all the information together, so you get the whole story, we all have little bits of information that we're putting out there. It's like we are seeding the garden being the new world. So it's us giving our information. We don't have to be, giving somebody else's information. Like I said, we're not all grabbing the same rock. There's a reason for that. And it has to do with unity, it has to do with us coming together. And there's a purpose. Why? One person doesn't carry all the information, why it's spread out, and it's part of the journey. It's part of the scavenger hunt. It's part of the path to go and find the information. But so she was talking about that there is a lot being defined right now over different things you're here to teach and stuff. But you have it, what is coming alive inside of you, what it is you're supposed to be doing or teaching or helping or whatever. And like I said, it doesn't all have to be, on YouTube or whatever. It can be in your community. Community is going to be so important. And it's going to be some people in their families. Some people is just the energy they carry. So, don't get all caught up in like, well, I'm not doing anything significant enough. Well, listening to your soul's going to tell you what you're supposed to be doing. So don't feel like, oh, well, I've got to do more. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. If you're supposed to do more, then don't get caught up in an ego. Talk to yourself and, like, what am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to do it? They will tell you if you're supposed to be doing something. Like when I started this page, remember, I said they turned on the lights and said, get up. We've got things to say. Open your mouth and talk for us. So, and I said, it's like you're compelled. It's like you kind of don't have a choice in the matter. You signed up for this. You're going to go in there and you're going to do it. But, there's a lot of growth for all of us, for me, to do this. Like, I had to overcome a lot of fear. I had to grow a lot to get to the point of being able to do this. Oh, my God. I couldn't even stand to see myself before on a freaking security camera. I couldn't stand to hear my own voice. I thought I sounded like some, I don't know, some old lady sitting there with her whiskey smoking her cigarette. I was like, oh my God. So let me see if I can even read my own writing. What was that? See, I write in my write code that I can't even break my own self. Symptomatic thinking and philosophy. I feel like I've got a lot of things that are just rushing around in my head. But, it is the same thing that I just keep saying. And, there is a lot of stuff happening, and they are lying to us. Everything is a show. I mean, this Johnny and Amber series is really dragging out. It's like been dead for a while, but but I can't be judgmental, because the hand of God is creating something good from it. It is helping some people awaken and grow and stuff like that. But when you can see through the plot, it's irritating, because it's just another distraction, and they're doing some really shitty things behind the scenes, while they distract us with the stupid whatever you want to call it, shallow, it's like the gladiators or something, like they're just, hey, you guys all come and watch this, and it's just to distract you. It's just to keep you, it's just another way to control our minds, to keep us looking where they want us to look. It is part of each person having to pull free from that mind control that they have us all under. So, and it's so crazy, because how much of it is just all based on ego and our own feelings of self-doubt, because it is us looking outside of ourselves. Yesterday I saw this thing. I can't remember what it was, but it really made me start thinking of, like, people are always like, oh, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not fast enough, I'm not smart enough, all these people who are constantly comparing themselves. Like, who are you comparing yourselves to? Who is the enough? Like, why are you doing that to yourself? And it's kind of like, when is enough enough? Like, when do you feel enough for yourself? What are you chasing? Who are you trying to please? Who are you trying to get to say, hey, you're the most beautiful, you're the most skinny, you're the most smart, you know what I mean? It's like, what is it people are looking for? I don't think that they really know what they're looking for. They're just looking to fill that emptiness inside of them, and they don't know how. They don't know. It's all inside of you. It is the pathway. It is the key to enlightenment. It is the doorway to self. And that is when you start feeling so much better about yourself. It's just working on yourself, healing yourself. And there's so many people who think, like, being alone, oh, that's horrible, that's so lonely. There's so much time for yourself that you use in development, reflection. You understand yourself, you create, it is a beautiful time. And I think that's important. And I think, that we need to get the youth, as they are transitioning to adulthood, to understand the importance of just having time to yourself, so that you can really develop yourself and know what it is you want in life, before you just go get someone pregnant, and then you're trapped into this reality that you weren't even being mindful of. You were just letting whatever happens, whatever happens. And then you're dissatisfied, because you're really not excited about whatever happens. And I think that there's also an important thing to us really coming into alignment with whatever happens is supposed to happen. It was meant to happen the way it's going to happen. There's destiny at play. We don't have control. We can't micromanage life. We have to relax. And even this morning, I was getting the image of, like, when you start getting yourself spinning out on something, or feeling like you have to control it or whatever, just remember, go in and do the visualization of you just laying on your back in water, just floating. Because we got to get it into ourselves. We're just floating in life. Just relax your soul, relax your consciousness, relax your ego, relax whatever, all of the things that are getting you to feel so, and put your mind into that status of relaxation by visualization, by imagining yourself floating in water. It's the buoyancy just releases, all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I don't have to worry about this. It's all going to play out. It's all happening the way it's supposed to happen. I don't need to worry. And that is such a release for spirit to, for, I don't know, because it's this mind, body, spirit. It's the avatar, the spirit coming into union. So, it's the gray in there. When you can get yourself to find peace, then it is, it is it is a transformation for your own self, to be able to pull in and relax, especially over something that you don't have control over, and it's just part of the problem is people think that they control it just because they've been misled over what life is about, what they're doing here and everything else. Man, there was some more stuff I wanted to say, and it keeps it's like it's swimming, or like if you see a thing where a bunch of fish are swimming, and then they'll swim up to the screen, and that's what I feel like my thoughts are right now. Swim in, swim out, swim in, swim out. So there was a couple more things I wanted to say. For now, we're going back into the rain, and we had that one day of blue sky and an actual sun, and then it seemed like whatever they were spraying right centralized over the sun, apparently it just turned the whole sky white again. And so we're just back in this weird white sky that's just rainy and shitty out, that it makes you feel sick. Like yesterday I smoked a couple of, I think I smoked 6 puffs all together all day, and because I smoked a couple in the morning and then a couple in the afternoon, and I do think it has helped with that electrical charge. So I don't know, but still I'm having really, really achy joints. And I know that is what Stella's having too. So, in the constant disruption of sleep, I don't know what it's from, but I definitely hear the freaking frequency is loud as fuck. And I've seen people in my comments, there's a lot of people who are having a really hard time with the frequency and the toxins and stuff. But it's just super important for people to know the truth and to understand what's going on, so that they can be like, oh, so I don't want to go to the doctor. The medical is what's trying to kill me. I need to, focus on myself, focus on natural remedies. I saw this girl yesterday I was talking to, and she told me another horror story. Oh my God, she had a horror story in the hospital. I mean, there's so many. But each person has to see, the nursing homes, the hospitals, or the gas chambers of our current society. People have to see that for themselves. They have to know who the enemy is. And I was just thinking this morning when I heard, hear all these people saying, why are you funding the Swaze sticks? They're the ones trying to kill us. Why are you giving them money? You give them $100 million or whatever this money we're supposedly sending all this money over there. There's no fucking money. So it's all just bullshit, it's just such bullshit. But it's all what has to come to the surface to show, and it has to really drag out because so many people don't pay attention, because this system is very effective on people's lives. So I was just thinking about all these people, because this is another thing too, and I've said this before, but it's really surprising how many spiritual people who are, energy workers and meditators, crystal, all the business, or a lot of those too. And, they're in support of the Crane of You and flying their flag and everything. It's like, oh man, see what I'm saying? When people see the truth, that's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt. And that's what I was saying. There's some people, and it all goes by intention, and everybody's here to learn their own lessons. So there's a lot of spiritual people who are, they may be going by a book, but they are still, their heart's in the right place. They know that they need to focus. They're just being misled, because there's so much, this whole world is about being misled. Everything is upside down. And so, you know, I mean, and you think about that, like, we're all upside down. When that flips back up, the equilibrium, how many energetically people are going to be so off balance, that's when we're going to really be hitting hard on the healing. And it's got to be getting close. I mean, how many things can they threaten us with where nothing happens? It's like, when is something going to happen? When are they going to make moves? It's like, it's mental. So I really think it's part of the thing, is just to keep trying to keep us fearful and scared and stuff. But when you know your own power, you know that they don't have any power over you. You know you're an independent soul. It doesn't matter, you know, what they try and say. Yeah, and they could take it as far as like, well, we're going to kill you. You're going to take a knee, or you're... It's like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm not taking a knee to you, motherfuckers. So, anyways, I don't know if I completed my sentence, but it's all just stuff to think about. It's all stuff to look at, and it's all part of the awakening, and it is part of really, you know, going inside, thinking about, what is my intention? What am I doing here? What am I trying to accomplish here? And I have to do that all the time. Like, I have to do it just on, you know, simple conversations. I can't tell you how many times now I've like even started texting somebody, and then all of a sudden it's like, why am I saying that? In, you know, in conversations, because I live in such conversation with the other side. And it's trippy, is because I hear people, you know, like, I'll see a TikTok, hey, you guys, there's people talking to us, there's this, there's that, oh, you know, I went in deep meditation, talked to the, and all this stuff. It's like, they're there talking all the time. It just depends on what you're paying attention to. It depends on your awareness. It's all you. You are your own key. You are your own answer. So anyways, it's just all stuff to think about. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.